Welcome to this lecture. This is the second part where we are applying a median filter to remove spikes or noise from a signal. In the first part of the lecture, we successfully imported the signal into our working environment. By observing the signal in a histogram, we selected a threshold value of 50. This means any sample of the signal whose magnitude is greater than 50 will be considered a spike, and we need to remove that value. Another important point we learned in the previous lecture is how NP dot where can be applied for 1-dimensional and 2-dimensional arrays. Since our spiky signal is 2-dimensional, we must be careful while applying NP dot where. This is the application of NP dot where on a 2-dimensional array. When we apply NP.where to a 2-dimensional array, it returns both row and column indices. If we want to extract only the row indices, we must use 0. Using this method, we can successfully extract only the row indices. Now, we are applying NP.where to our spiky signal to get the indices where the amplitude is greater than 50. We define ultra-thresh as NP.where spiky greater than threshold, 0. This command gives the indices of those samples in the signal whose magnitude is greater than 50. Since NP.where on a 2-dimensional array returns both row and column indices, we use 0 to extract only the row indices. If we examine ultra-thresh, we see values such as 69, 120, and so on. These are not the sample values themselves. They are the indices of the samples where the signal magnitude exceeds the threshold of 50. NP.where never gives the actual sample values. It only provides the indices. To find how many such indices exist, we calculate the length of ultra-thresh. These indices represent the part of the signal where the magnitude exceeds 50. In our case, there are 998 such samples. Remember, the original signal had 4,999 samples, so out of these, 998 samples exceed the threshold. Now, we have to apply a median filter. From previous lectures on the median filter, whenever we apply a filter using a for loop, the first step is to initialize the filtered signal. We do this using np.zeros, where the number of zeros is equal to the size of the noisy signal. For example, if the signal previously had 768 samples, we initialize the filtered signal with 768 zeros. This step prepares the signal array so that during the filtering process, the zeros will be replaced by the computed median values. Now, what we are doing here is initializing the filtered signal as a copy of the original spiky signal. The reason for this is that we only want to filter the parts of the signal where the magnitude is greater than 50. The remaining parts of the signal will not be filtered because we need to retain those sections. Our goal is to recover the original signal from the spikes, so we only want to modify the portions of the signal that contain spikes. Therefore, we initialize the filtered signal by copying the spiky signal. Next, we define the order of the median filter and apply the filter using a for loop. We use "I" as the control variable for the loop, and the loop runs from 0 to ultra-thresh.shape0. Ultra-thresh.shape0 is 998. Remember, the original signal had 4,999 samples, but we are not running the loop from 0 to 4,998. Instead, we are running it only 998 times because that is the number of samples where the magnitude exceeds 50. This is how we apply a median filter specifically to the parts of the signal that need spike removal. Inside the loop, the index of our filtered signal is ultra-thresh at II, rather than simply I or II as in the moving average filter, or the Gaussian moving average filter. We apply NP.median, which is the median filter, to the spiky signal, starting from the first value of ultra-thresh and moving to the last value after 998 iterations. When I is 0, ultra-thresh 0 gives the value 69. This is the index where the magnitude of the signal first exceeds 50. The first filtered segment runs from 69 to 69 plus n, which is 100. The loop continues, moving along the spiky signal, but only filtering the sections where the magnitude is greater than 50. This cell is very important to understand. When we apply a median filter to remove spiky noise, we do not apply it to the entire signal. Instead, we only apply it to the sections identified by ultra-thresh. After running this loop, the filtered signal appears in red. Every part of the red signal is equal to or less than 50. The green signal is the original spiky signal. By applying the median filter in this way, we successfully remove the sections of the signal where the magnitude exceeded 50, identifying them as spikes. This demonstrates another important application of the median filter. The first application removed random noise from a signal. And in this application, we learn how to remove spiky noise using a median filter.